Kolbrin Bible, Book 5, Chapter 33, Speculation, Part 25. The whole chapter might retell the myth of Osiris, Isis, Horus, Set, but the name for Isis doesn't match. MAN 33:38. The Spirit of God responded to the cry of Hori in this manner. My son, take not unto yourself the blame for the iniquity of these perverse people. Leave them to steep in the brew of their wickedness, which they have prepared for themselves. For there is a point beyond which my administrators are not required to go. Leave the wicked, and gather the select few unto yourself, for thus it shall ever be. Many will cry at the gates, but few shall enter. Abandon the misled to their false shrines, for the day will dawn when all these shall be dust borne away on the wind. Even then the words of truth shall remain unto men. Go, cherish the few and abandon the many. Hide the sacred mysteries in places where they shall be least sought. Choose well those who are of one thought with you. A roof is better supported upon a few sound pillars than on many unstable ones. Yet the day is not far distant when many shall give ear to the words of wisdom, for if their ears are stopped, they are lost. Those from whom you incline your head shall be removed from out of your sight, and they shall become lost in restless spirits. To you is given command of men, as he who fathered you is given command of spirits. MAN 33:39. All things that God commanded, Hori did, and when at last he lay in the arms of the great bride, he knew that the foundation for the temple of truth was well and truly laid. In the book of the bearers of light is the supplication of Hori. It's not the first time we hear God tell someone to take a few people and protect the sacred mysteries and abandon the rest. In fact, look at the first verses of this chapter. Could this man have been a scribe that worked with Hori and was one of those picked to follow Hori? Book 2, Book of Gleanings, it is chapter 2, Aloma. Book 4, Sons of Fire, almost the whole book seems to deal with the aftermath of the events, only told in chapter 13. The tragedy happened after the city dwellers and the ones that produced food became selfish. The farmers got tired of being ignored, refused to serve the cities. The cities took up arms, leading to war, and then the flood, and skies filled with ash, sounding like a volcano eruption. That is also mentioned in many chapters. That mentions the survivors who demanded answers the leaders had done, so made them up. For the good of the people, I assumed it was talking of the invasion of the sea people, but this chapter makes me wonder if those events might have happened with Ascetis and Cetis' people and not Egypt. Some people will not let you save them. They prefer to wallow, because the alternative is to struggle and dig their way back out of the pit of mud they created themselves. They will bemoan and whine their fate, yet do nothing waiting for others to fix it, since they no longer believe they can do anything. Their leaders taught them to do nothing and look to the leaders to fix things, much like a child with an overprotective parent. They will not allow the child to do anything and then dies, leaving the child incapable of taking care of themselves. They do not do it for the good of the child, but because they like the devotion of someone who believes they are useless and they need you. Arrogantly forgetting, eventually you die and the child will be left to the mercy of the real world you refuse to allow them to embrace.